could be some formulas inside. Oh god, dalam matematik ada formula, chess pun ada formula, apa benda siap. Alright, okay, let's go. Okay, so kita akan start with our usual classes dulu. Let's analyze some of your game kalau sempat main. Okay, progress and let's go through rapid. Aduh, gatal. Tak main? Everything okay? Tak sempat. Exam ke? I know it's exam week, but I don't know apa. I played games at school. Wait, what does that mean? Main over the board ke? Ke main games as in main game lain? Oh, okay. Aris, tak sempat sekejap. You play game at school? Oh, minggu lepas kita tak ada kelas Minggu lepas kita tak ada kelas. Okay. That's why you had time. Aris, ada apa Aris? Exam, ada apa-apa exam ke? Yelah, ada apa-apa. Study tu memang kena buat. You are a student. You must always study, tak kira masa. Cuma tak sempat untuk kali ni sebab ada exam ke apa? I see. Exam apa? Exam itu usia. Korang ada UASA ke? Tak ada kan? Sekolah menengah tak ada kan? Ada juga Oh, I thought sekolah rendah je. I see. Okay. So, kenapa buat kelas hari ni? I mean, not that I'm not criticizing. I'm just asking, kenapa tak macam cuti kelas dan buat ni? Dan focus on your study lah. Macam most of my student masuk November ni, diorang stop kelas. The whole November diorang stop because UASA tengah November kan. I think around 11 to 14 kan. So my daughter pun ada juga. So my daughter berkelas pun kita stop. I mean dia dah tak belajar chess dengan coach lah. Kan? It's kind of weird lah. So puzzle dashboard, let's see. Awak lah tinggal sebulan. Awak lah yang busy. Adik awak okay? Oh no, ni okay. Koyemu nampak pula. Koyemu ni paling susah tau. Of all the tactics, quiet move is on the S level ni paling susah. Sebab dia tak nampak. Dia quiet, nampak macam tak ada apa-apa. Sekejap. Mandi ni kan? Sana. Sana mandi kat sana. Okay, so where were we? Okay, so tak ada benda sangat kita nak tengok sebab tak ada ni kan. Okay, so kita go to a new opening. What did we learn last week Last week? The guy. What guy? Kau bang, apa nama? What's that guy name again? Capablanca Capablanca lah gila. Carablanca tu. Capablanca lah. Mexican lah. Kesian Capablanca. Dia menggelupur di dalam kubur. I'm Cuban. Cuban, Mexican, sama je. Don't be racist. I'm recording this. Okay. So I actually wanted to teach you, both of you, a new set of opening tau. I'm not sure whether you're ready or not. Hopefully So kalau if you play E4, then dia senang lah. Kalau awak main D4, then it will be easy for you. Banyak lagi tengok mak. How Chimichanga attack. Was this the game? This is the game kan? Then Chimichanga. How did Chimichanga attack? What game was this? Oh, okay, I remember this one. He attacked on. Yeah. Don't mess with Chimichanga. See? He sacrificed the rock. Bak kata Gotham Chess. Okay, this is a very miniature. Okay, now I wanted to talk about new opening. Okay, new opening kita emptykan dia, kita namakan dia Queen's Gambit. Fine, exchange. Okay, feel free to Google this if you want. Okay, although kalau tak Google, it'll be more fun. So tak ada spoiler. Okay, now I wanted to talk about the Queen's Gambit decline exchange variation. Okay, you guys ready? Might want to take some pen and paper, batu kertas for you to jot this down. Because there could be some formulas inside. Oh God, dalam matematik ada formula, chess pun ada formula, apa benda siap. Okay, kena ada, I think kena ada pen and paper lah. Dengan pen and paper ataupun pen dengan buku. Let me know when you're ready. Okay, kita akan go through opening tapi the boring part is kita kena go through each move one by one. Oh God. Okay, Daniel's ready. Aduh, just wait for your sister. Just wait for Arianna. Thank you, Sam. Thank you. Okay, all right. Now, so we will talk about a new opening called the Queen's Gambit Decline Exchange Variation. You can see the name here. Okay, you can actually see the name there. It's over there. Okay, Queen's Gambit Decline Exchange Variation. So, I think I need to draw. Let me open up quickly open up draw.io. So I'm going to draw some sort of peta minda. You guys say guna peta minda kat sekolah? Okay. So I'm going to name this the Great Opening Tree. Because it sounds cool. At least to me it sounds cool. Dengar macam Elden Ring ni kan. The Great Opening. Okay, now bila kita start, kita semua berfikir menggunakan cabang kan. We will always have choice in our life kan. Macam bangun tidur, nak semayang ke tak nak semayang. Kan? Dan bila kita decide nak semayang, kita nak ambil wudu ke tak nak ambil wudu. Kan? There's always a choice. Tak nak ambil wudu, semayang batal semayang. Tak sah semayang tu. But the point is that you will always have a choice. The older you get, the bigger the choices. The bigger the choices are. Sebab bahasa awak kecil, awak tak ada banyak choice because awak noob kan. So your mom will always limit your choice. Macam kau tak boleh makan nasi, kau tak boleh makan gula-gula, kau tak boleh makan ice cream. All those cannot is your mom limiting your scope lah. And as you grow up, the option becomes bigger and bigger. As you become older like me, no one can no one impose authority on you. So kita bertanggungjawab atas diri kita sendiri lah. Okay, so chess pun sama. Dia ada lots of choices. Okay, at the start of the game pun kita dah start ada, let's say kita kata kita ada E4 start of the game kan. You're white, there's E4, then kita ada let's say D4, and then kita ada C4 kan. And then kita ada apa lagi, F4. Betul tak? And then if you're the adventurous side, you might want to play like, you might have like knight F3. All these are first move choice, betul tak? Kan? So at the start of the game kita ada banyak choice. Tu belum kira yang apa-apa lagi, G4, B4, E3, knight C3. Okay. So I'm going to remove this one, and I'm going to remove this one, and I'm going to remove this one. So kita ada E4 dan D4. Okay, the most famous move played at the start of the game lah, E4 dan D4. Okay. Now because nama the Queen's Gambit Decline, okay, if you go back to the board, where is the board? If you go back to the board, okay, kita nampak E4 adalah depan King, okay, and D4 adalah depan Queen kan. Okay, so because nama the Queen's Gambit Decline, Queen's Gambit, because ada perkataan Queen kat sini, so it obviously it refers to the Queen or anything on the Queen side lah. Betul? Faham kan? So therefore Queen's Gambit Decline is started with D4. Okay, jadi if you go back to the tree, I'm going to remove E4 dan kita ada D4. We have a D4. Okay, so this is called the Queen's Pawn Opening. I'm going to name this Queen's Pawn Opening. Okay, so dalam kurungan 1 D4. Okay, semua follow so far. Nampak tak ni? Ke nak kena besarkan lagi? Can you see the thing? Or do you want me to make it bigger? I can actually make it bigger, I think. I can make it like 225. Yeah, like that. Better? Okay. So, kita cerita pasal opening tau. Bukan cerita pasal move, okay? Now, let's talk about the opening. Now, Queen's Pawn opening, kita ada D4. We have your D4. Okay? Now, assuming that black also choose the same path, D5. Okay, D5. Then kat sini, kita go back to the tree. Okay? Queen's Pawn opening, D4. Then black main D5. Okay, so Queen's Pawn opening. Both party plays Queen Pawn opening. So kat sini kita ada choice. Okay, we have a choice of playing the Queen's Gambit. We have a choice of playing the London, the boring London. So main London sini. Okay, we have a choice of playing the Stonewall. Kan? We have also choice to play the apa nama dia yang bishop kat B2 tu? Apa nama dia? Lupa dah. Some dude's name. Kita ada apa nama dia? Tak ingat. Apa sistem? I forgot lah. Bukan register browser. Siapa nama dia? Allahumma salli Muhammad. Tak lebih dah lupa lah. Padahal lah. Okay. So kita ada banyak lagi choice tau. So I can't remember all the name. I can only remember 3 for now. I can only recall 3 for now. Yes, I can only recall 3. Oh, kita ada Voronesh. Apa nama? Yang bishop G5 tu? Tak ingat. Buang. Alamak, what did I do? Okay, sekejap. Buang this one. Okay. So, kata kita ada 3. Banyak lagi So, nak tunjukkan gambaran, I'll just put 3. So, kita ada option untuk main Queen's Gambit sekarang. Kita ada option untuk main London. Kita juga ada option untuk main Stonewall. Okay, ni nama dia Accelerated London. Accelerated London. Okay, so Queen's Gambit ni, move dia adalah 2 C4. Okay, Accelerated London ni, move dia adalah 2 bishop F4. Stonewall, move kedua dia adalah I can't remember. I think it's 2 E3 kan? Ataupun 2 F4. Either one lah. Okay, tak ingat. Just no. Okay, so this is kita dah nampak satu gambaran, a tree of Queen's Pawn opening lah. Ada banyak lagi kat sini. Ada so many. Okay, kalau nak lukis, kena pakai tangan. Kalau lukis kat sini, pukul 3 tak habis lagi. Okay, so now we're going to do Queen's Gambit family. Sebab kita cakap pasal Queen's Gambit, okay? So kita pergi Queen's Gambit family, okay? So I'm going to remove this one. Okay? Let's not remove it for now. Kita just make it for fun. Kita tarik bawah sini. Okay. Okay, tarik bawah sini. Okay. Now, Queen's Gambit. Kita ada 2. Queen's Gambit ni ada 2 tau. Queen's Gambit ni actually dia ada 2. Dia ada 2 cabang utama. Okay. Which is accepted. Okay. The move is to D takes C4 by black. So black main D takes C4. Okay. So decline. Okay. So Queen's Gambit ini ada 2. Satu dia accept the gambit by making D takes C4. Satu lagi dia decline the gambit by playing what? Okay, by playing what? Now here's the fun part. Okay. Decline ada so many variations. Okay, decline the gambit. Okay, kita tarik bawah sikit. Okay, nah, bila dia decline, dia akan ada banyak option nak main. Okay, dia ada 2 E6, dia ada copy lagi 2 dia ada 2 C6. Okay, dia ada apa lagi? Knight C6. I think these 3 are the famous one. So decline dia ada 3 option. Dia boleh main macam ni. Dia boleh main macam ni. These are the famous one. Okay, main macam ni. So sekarang ni Nampak kan yang opening sebenarnya dia satu cabang yang sangat-sangat besar. Jadi ada banyak sangat option, banyak sangat possibility yang ada kan. Okay, so which path are we looking at? Kita tengah tengok quiz point opening. I'm going to color it. We are going to the quiz gambit. We are going to the decline line. And we're going to the E6 line. This is the path that we're taking right now. Kejap lagi, okay? Boleh faham? Kat bawah ni lagi. Kat bawah lagi. E6 ni ada lagi. Knight F3, Knight C3, Bishop F4. Ada lagi. Okay, tapi kita I'm going to stop here untuk tunjuk yang path tu. Nanti kita akan tengok the board itself. But now just to give you a rough, nak bagi satu gambaran, literally satu gambar untuk cerita kat awak, opening ni macam mana? Boleh faham? Arianna faham? Okay, Aris faham ya? Okay, alright. So let's go back to the board. Okay, so dia dinamakan Queen's Gambit sebab satu, dia start dekat Queen side of the board. Dia pakai Queen's Pawn. Okay, this is the Queen's Pawn. This is the Queen. This is the Queen's Bishop's Pawn. This is the, yang ni pula adalah the Queen's Knight's Pawn. That's how people name the pawns. Dulu, zaman dulu. Back when I was still adalah alam roh. Okay, 100, 200 years ago. Okay, this is the King's Pawn. This is the King's Bishop's Pawn. King's Bishop's Pawn. Okay, yang this one is the King's Knight's Pawn. King punya Knight punya Pawn. That's how they name it, okay? So, ni adalah Queen's Pawn opening sebab the Queen punya Pawn yang gerak ke hadapan, okay? So, dinamakan Gambit sebab dia main C4. Okay, now the term Gambit, tahu tak maksud dia apa? Okay, Gambit orang selalu ingat dia melibatkan cut down throw. If you are a comic geek ataupun suka tengok komik, suka baca komik ataupun suka tengok kartun, most people akan ingat Gambit ni melibatkan cut down throw, cut judi tu, cut down throw lah. Because there's a character named Gambit. Tahu tak karakter nama Gambit tu dalam X-Men? There's this cool character nama Gambit. It's okay, I'm not show it you. That's what coaching is all about. Show it. Aris tak tahu ke? Ni Remy LeBeau. Nah, there's a character named Gambit. A very, very cool guy. Okay, very, very cool guy. Kalau ada image dia ada image of a French man yang ada power dia adalah dia boleh transfer some sort of kinetic energy dekat anything that he touches. So he chooses to use a card, yang playing card tu, untuk transfer kinetic power, dan dia baling kena kat orang sakit lah. So kadang dia transfer kat tongkat je lah macam ni kan. So dia guna card ni. Okay. So orang selalu ingat, oh Gambit ni melibatkan down throw because of the character Gambit lah. Tapi tak. Okay, Gambit is actually from the Italian word Gambetto. Okay. Let me close this up. Okay, it's from the Italian word Gambetto, which means to trip. The spelling is Gambetto. Boleh dengar suara coach? Sebab dapat ni. Can you hear me clearly or dengar? Okay. Gambetto kot perkataan dia, which means to trip. To trip. To trip someone. Okay. So kalau kawan kita lari, kita hulur kaki, tersepak kaki, itu jatuh. Perbuatan kita menghulur kaki itu adalah Gambetto, according to the Italian lah. So chess player ambil perkataan Gambetto tu, masukkan dalam dia terminologi, jadi perkataan Gambit. Okay. So Gambetto, perbuatan trip tu adalah di mana kita, orang lari kan ada rhythm dia, kiri kanan ataupun kau laju kiri kanan kan. Dia ada tempo dia kan. So bila kita hulur kaki, dia terlanggar kaki kita, dia jatuh bukan sebab dia terlanggar, dia jatuh sebab dia hilang tempo kaki dia bergerak tu, kiri kanan tu tiba-tiba terskip ataupun terlebih satu tempo. Jadi otak dia macam terkejut tu, dia tersandung tu. So macam kita naik tangga, kalau kita naik tangga pernah tak tersandung, macam kita jalan tiba kita terskip satu anak tangga, ni kita macam nak jatuh. Faham tak? Dia sebab tempo dia pergerakan kaki dia tu lari sikit. Sebab orang tertulur kaki. Okay? Faham So, Gambit ni adalah perbuatan yang mana dia bagi satu free pawn untuk hilangkan tempo opponent, untuk hilangkan rentak opponent. Okay? So, perlu diingatkan, kedua-dua putih dan hitam tau. Dia nak buat 3 benda dalam opening. Apa dia? Ingat tak? There's only 3 things in opening you must do. The most simplified version of an opening punya principle. Quarter center dulu, must start with quarter center dulu. Lepas tu, development, king safety. In that particular order, okay? Whenever we talk about opening principle, mesti kena start daripada, mesti susun ke priority. Quarter center, development, king safety. Dia tak boleh start king safety dulu. Sebab you cannot do king safety if you don't develop your pieces. You cannot develop your pieces if you don't control the center. So, mesti letak quarter center dulu. Okay? Mesti prioritize. Some things boleh di jumble up. Okay, macam endgame principle kena buat apa? Boleh jumble up. Duduk behind pass pawn, create pass pawn, bishop nak open diagonal, knight nak outpost, knight, kalau ada knight lock the pawns, letak pawn opposite color of the bishop. You can always jumble it up because endgame tak ada priority. Tapi opening ada priority. So kena susun priority tu. Okay, quarter center dulu, develop your pieces and then king safety. Jadi hitam mesti kena buat benda yang sama. Kita buat benda yang sama, hitam buat benda yang sama. Okay, kita mesti kena control center, kita kena rapid development dan kita kena king safety. Now if you flip the board untuk jadi black also can make the same thing. Black kena control center, black kena buat rapid development dan black kena buat king safety. Okay, boleh faham Jadi tiba-tiba white control the center by playing c4. C4 dia control d5, okay, and it frees up the queen. And at the same time white bagi free pawn. So hitam kena fikir. Now, I should either develop my pieces, I should either control the center, I should develop my pieces as quickly as possible, or I should do king safety. Now, if you look at the arrow, none of the arrow goes here. Betul tak? Kan, none of the arrow goes to d takes c4 because d takes c4 dia tak control center. In fact, the opposite, dia lari ke center. The pawn run away from the center. Okay? Dia tak control center, dia tak buat rapid development, dan dia tak buat king safety. So by capturing the free pawn, black neglect his opening principle. Faham? Okay, faham Okay, so that is the origin of Gambit. Bukan Queen's Gambit tau, perkataan Gambit tu sendiri. That's the origin of it. If black accept the Gambit third pawn, black neglect his opening principle. Okay, now how many pawns? Selama coach main chess, coach hanya nampak satu. Yang paling optimal is only 1 pawn. 2 pawn sangat jarang. 3 pawn kita panggil blunder. Bukan Gambit dah. Kita panggil tu blunder. Okay, so maximum is 2 pawns lah. Dia Hungarian Gambit kot nama dia. Dia bagi 2 pawn in the opening. Okay, so dekat sini, okay, macam coach tunjuk kat opening 3 tadi, dia ada accepted. Okay, dia ada accepted kat sini. Kita kena merah. Accepted dia ada. Accepted dia pun ada line lagi. Ada pecahan cabang lagi. Macam ni kak. Ada banyak cabang dia. Kalau kita lukis cabang ni, awak akan nampak macam satu ranting pokok yang ada banyak daun tu. Okay, ada banyak sangat. So, we will not go into accepted. Okay, accepted adalah satu opening yang tersendiri yang diterima pakai. Memang boleh makan pawn ni. Sebab satu, dia boleh always attack center balik. Nombor 2, ni bukan free pawn. White boleh je main bodoh-bodoh queen A4 check. Betul, bishop A7 betul. Aku dah balik pawn aku. Tapi defeat the purpose lah. Because you move to the queen twice. You broke the opening principle juga. Tadi kita bagi center pawn, kita bagi free pawn sebab kita nak dia tak ikut principle. Lepas tu bila dia makan, kita break. Kita break principle by moving the same piece twice dan take out queen too early. So, it's kind of weird lah kalau kita main queen A4. Faham? Tapi it is accepted. Boleh faham? Boleh Okay. So, kita patah balik ke C4. Okay, kita cerita pasal dia tak nak terima. Now, kalau dia tak nak terima, C4 comes with a threat. Can you see the threat? The threat is not that huge pun. But it is still considered a threat. If the stronger you are, the more you understand that this is a threat. Dia bukan threat biasa-biasa. Okay, C4 comes with the threat of actually capturing the pawn. If it's if it's white to move, let's say I'll make a move macam lemo H5 atau H6 lah. H6 H5 ni macam bongok sangat. Okay, white threatens to actually take the pawn. Now if you take the queen, sebab nak balik pawn kita kan, then kita ada knight C3. Now this is a threat. The threat is not to capture the queen, the threat is to gain one tempo. Now remember, white is already up half a tempo because white jalan dulu mah. Lepas tu dia dapat satu lagi tempo. Kan white ada huge advantage kat situ. Kalau rasa queen dia patah balik, kita ada knight C. Kita ada center, kita ada dua piece keluar. Black ada 0. Satu center dengan dua piece keluar. That's a huge advantage. Faham? You fellas faham? Faham? Okay, therefore C4 comes with a threat. Black must respond to the threat. Now, satu sub topic sikit. This is why kalau awak tengok kat internet kan, some people majority of macam IMs, FMs, IMs and sometimes GM, diorang tak suka main London. Sometimes they even make fun of it. Ada video coach tengok apa, dia tunjuk video baby baru lahir. Baby baru lahir tu, doktor tu macam terkena kepala dia sikit, tersiku sikit kepala dia. Lepas tu dia tulis, 18 years later, orang tu main London. It's joking, dia kata kalau orang tu terketuk kepala masa baby, kepala dia tak betul dan main London. Okay. Tapi kenapa is frowned upon? Okay, there's a reason why. Okay. Because bila white jalan dulu, white must create threat dulu. It's logic. If you are on the offensive, you are the offenser, kita yang menyerang, kita lah kena create ancaman dulu. Tak logik kot awak serang negara orang. Betul pergi depan pintu negara orang tu, betul duduk ke depan pintu negara. Lepas tu orang tanya, kau nak buat apa kat sini? Aku nak serang kau. Okay, serang lah. Let lu lah. Aku tak tahu nak serang ke tak. It doesn't make any sense. Betul tak? Nak serang lah. Sebab kau jalan dulu. Okay, so white must create ancaman dulu. Black equalize kalau black boleh create counter ancaman yang sama level kuat dengan yang putih. So tu bishop F4 is frowned upon because it doesn't create any, dia tak create apa-apa ancaman. It doesn't fight for the center. It is a merely a developing move. Dia tak ada macam, it's an automatic move. So tu black boleh strike back kat C5. Black boleh strike back kat C5. Attack balik center ni. Dan sini white, then black has a better control over the center. Sebab tu London is frowned upon. Tapi adakah dia opening yang buruk? Tidak. Adakah awak patut berhenti main London kalau awak main? Tak. I'm just explaining to you kenapa some people yang high level ni, dia frown upon the London system. Boleh faham? Okay, boleh? Okay, so kita kata C4. Now, C4, katakanlah kita patah balik. Let's go back a little bit. Kalau kita main B6, what is white's best move here? What is white's best move here? E4. Very good. E4. Because we want to control the center mah. Okay. So, kita faham yang D5 dimainkan. Satu, because black pun nak his lion share of the center. The second is that dia tak nak kita main E4. He's stopping us from playing E4. That's why another good move, another famous move is knight F6. It does the same thing. It stops white from playing E4. It gets control. It gains the E4 square. Boleh faham? Boleh faham eh? Nah, kalau kita berjaya main E4, kita dapat square ni, dapat square ni. Betul? Dapat square ni. Okay. Now look at D5. Okay. You look at D5. Bila dia main D5, we cannot play E4 anymore. We cannot get these two square anymore. Okay. Tapi kita boleh dapat D5 dengan main C4. Sebab kita dapat D5 juga. So C4 ni dia macam a cousin of E4, the younger cousin of E4. E4 is the best move because it gets both square yang sangat dekat dengan center. Tapi because E4 tak boleh dimainkan, adik dia pergi. Adik sepupu dia pergi. Iaitu C4, tak dapat F4 dengan D5, dapat D5 pun jadilah. At least dapat half of the center. You understand? You guys faham? Okay, so this is why C4 dimainkan. Okay, now how can black answer the threat of pawn takes pawn? Now, the two most famous move is C4, C6 and E6. Okay, just prove it to you last night. C6 and E6. Okay, two famous move. Okay, okay. Alright, now knight F6 is also frowned upon. Now, why? Sedangkan knight F6 follows the principle. Kan? Kita dah control center, so kita kena buat rapid development. Knight F6 develop a knight and defend D4, D5. Not only that, it also attack E4. So it's like so many good things. Why was it frowned upon? Tak, jauh ke bawah. F6 jauh ke bawah, nampak? Bawah ni, nampak? Bawah. Nampak? Okay, sangat sikit. Master database kosong. Di child player mungkin ada lah. Ada kat sini 70%. Tapi kalau master database, game yang grandmaster main, all those master main kosong. Why? Okay? Can you figure out why? Can you figure out kenapa? Boleh? Okay, kalau kita kat sini, kita tengok it seems like the best way to defend is to play knight F6 because knight F6 does three things. It develops a piece, follows opening principle kan? It defends D5 and at the same time it attacks E4. So it does three things, it must be a good move. Tapi kalau kita tengok dekat game database, master database, the move is frowned upon. Grandmaster tak main. 0%. Okay, 100 orang bodoh ni mungkin game yang non-grandmaster. Macam IM ke, FM ke, tapi grandmaster 0. The question is kenapa? Sedangkan kenapa knight F6 tidak dimainkan dan tak bagus, sedangkan knight F6 dia ikut opening principle, iaitu develop rapid development. Because I say so. Because grandmaster says so. Because Aris, can you figure it out? Is it obvious? Yes. Well, it depends. Soalan tu subjektif. To me, it's obvious. To Mariam, my daughter, it's not obvious. I have to explain to her. To Asma, my youngest, 4 years old, she knows zero about chess. Dia cuma tahu ambil queen makan king and dia menang. So it's kind of subjective to your level. I think to your level it's obvious kot. Ya, because korang berdua kuat. Cuma korang berdua kadang malas fikir. No offense though. With due respect. Korang kadang malas fikir, penat. Banyak belajar kot. Banyak baca buku kat sekolah kan. Aris, do you get the answer? Apa yang yes tu? Yes, you get the answer. Okay, apa jawapan dia? Ke yes awak banyak baca buku kat sekolah? It's obvious, ha? What's the answer then? Aris? It's obvious. It's obviously not obvious. It's obviously not obvious. Okay, as your coach, I believe it's obvious at your level. Should be like clear kot. It requires calculation. It requires slight calculation. Slight je. Macam sikit je. It looks like a good move kan? Knight F6. Macam ni lah. Macam kalau kita main E4, E5, Knight F3, Knight F6. Kan sama. Let me go back. Allow me to go back a bit. E4, E5. Kan? Knight F3 attack. Knight C6 kan does the same thing. It develop a piece, it defend the pawn that's under attack, and it attack the D4 square. Kan lebih kurang sama. Kan, tapi kenapa kat sini, if you flip it, if you make a mirror image out of it, Knight F6 ni frown upon. Okay. Should I give the answer or you want to think? You want to figure it out yourself? It's too okay. No. Okay. It's too common and too many counters too. It's too general of an answer. Kena macam spesifik. Okay. Terlalu general. Macam too many counters. What does counter mean and where are the counters? So it's too general lah. Jawapan kena spesifik supaya dia nombor soalan susulan. Okay. Now the answer is that Knight F6, bila main F6, Black kena decide. Black kena decide whether dia nak hilang material, nak hilang tempo, ataupun nak hilang space. Dia kena decide dulu. Once dia pegang Knight tu, dia main Knight F6, dia kena decide. Aku nak hilang tempo ke, aku nak hilang material ke, ataupun aku nak hilang space. Now, hilang material. Kalau dia makan, Black just ignore and play some Knight C6 ke? Makan. No, Black counter Gambit the pawn. Which is not good because Black lost one center pawn, kita ada two center pawn. So it's obvious why it's better kat sini, okay? Nah, hilang material tak bagus. Nah, hilang apa tadi? Hilang tempo. Makan. Okay, hilang tempo, makan. Dan makan queen. And then the same thing yang kita cakap tadi, threat tu, knight sini. Dan kita berjaya develop a knight. And then kita berjaya another knight with tempo, okay? So kita menang satu tempo. Okay? Nah, space. Makan. That's why we put the knight here, bro. Makanlah dengan knight. The problem is when the knight move, the knight no longer control sini. Knight no longer control E4 square. We can push E4, then hey presto, we get the center, the classic center, the very center that we want. Okay, there are only three ways. Tiga benda je dia boleh buat. Dia hilang material dengan main C6. Dia hilang tempo dengan main queen takes D5, ataupun dia hilang space dengan main knight takes E5, dan kita boleh main E4. Faham? Any other move yang that I missed? Do you think that I missed any other move? Tak ada Tak ada. I positively sure tak ada. Okay? Sebab ada tiga je option. Okay? That's why knight F6 is frowned upon. Okay? Sebab dia akan hilang tiga benda. Now, bishop here, I don't think we should talk more about this because the bishop blocks the center pawn. Okay? Can play here if you want. Okay? Can take and then play knight here if you want. Makan-makan, kita boleh main macam ni. Black doesn't want to give up this bishop sebab tak nak hilang two bishop, so we get another set of tempo kalau kita nak. Okay? Lagi apa lagi? Knight sini. Knight sini, kita dari sini satu, dari sini dua, dari sini tiga. Okay? The third one is knight C6. Okay? Knight C6 defend the D5 pawn sebenarnya. But it is an indirectly way of defending. The point is that if white takes, white cuba nak menang tempo dengan queen takes D5, main knight C3, it doesn't work anymore because the extra men, the extra army that join the battle actually help the queen to attack D4. So black can simply take the pawn, the free pawn, macam tu je. So black is up a pawn, black is better. Knight C6 is the move that famous lah, boleh adalah grandmaster main. Tapi it is also not really recommended because it blocks the C pawn. So C pawn tak boleh move forward. Okay? Boleh? So kita tinggal dua, C6 dengan E6. Now C6 is called the Slav, S-L-A-V. A different set of opening altogether. Okay? Boleh dimainkan. Okay? Cuma yang paling famous adalah E6. It defend this pawn. Now E6 dengan C6 ni adalah sister juga, dia adik-beradik. Okay? The difference is that C6, let's say we trade the pawns, then we have what we call a symmetrical pawn structure. Aku ada H, kau ada H, aku ada G, kau ada G, aku ada F, kau ada F, kau ada E, kau ada E, aku ada D, kau ada D, aku ada A, B, kau ada A dengan B. Okay? And we only left with the open C file. Semua buah dan nenek dia pergi dekat C file, rook ni pergi C file, rook ni pergi C file, let's trade it. Rook ni pergi C file pula, rook ni pergi C file pula, let's trade it. And then queen datang, Queen datang, let's tukar queen. Dalam semua mati dekat C-file sahaja. Then it's probably bound to be a draw. If you don't know how to handle the pawn structure, it's probably become a draw. In other words, it'll probably become a boring game. Sebab semua orang berebut kat C-file. Semua orang jumpa kat tempat yang sama. Boleh faham? Tapi adakah ada opening yang buruk? Tidak. It's another set of opening. Which is very good. Cuma you need to have you need to have experience and you need to have like a very strong understanding before we can play C6 ni. It's called a Slav. S-L-A-V. Boleh faham So that leaves us with one move iaitu E6. Okay. Now E6 is the best way to defend the pawn, but it has a huge drawback. Apa drawback dia? Apa drawback E6 yang paling ni? Yeah, very good. Bishop, no good square. The queen's bishop has no good square. Okay. We are kind of blocking the bishop. Okay. Very good. Okay, very good. We are blocking the bishop. So, nanti bila kita belajar opening, majority of opening and default, in fact, I would say majority of opening, we play against this bishop. We play against this bishop. Kita annoy black dengan jangan kasih bishop ni keluar. Okay. Now let's go back to the opening. Now kita tengah attack kawan ni. Now he's defending, which means he's acknowledging, kau tengah attack D5. Okay, good for you. Okay, I'll defend D5 and I'll try to find another way to counter attack. Okay, so kita kena put pressure on this fella. Tekan kawan ni sampai tak ada hari esok. How do you do that? Tekan kawan ni. Attack dia lagi. Knight C3, very good. Simple Knight C3 dimainkan with the reason of we want to attack the fella. Let's put this as the main line. Okay. Okay, kita nak attack kawan ni. Now, because kita tengah attack kawan ni, black acknowledge that, so black try to defend. Another way is to play C6, tapi another way yang paling famous adalah knight F6, sebab bila knight ni keluar, knight ni keluar. Bila knight ni keluar, dia macam ada tali. Okay, kalau knight belah king ni keluar, knight belah queen ni keluar. Kalau knight belah queen ni keluar, knight belah king ni keluar. Kenapa? Dia macam tali sebab both knight are attacking the same square. Knight ni attack square ni dengan square ni. Knight ni comes in and defense square ni dan defense square ni. Dia macam neutralizekan the other opponent punya knight. Okay, boleh? Okay, kita dah sampai dekat basic position of the Queen's Gambit. Queen's Gambit decline. Okay. Now, exchange variation. Dekat sini ada banyak variation. Ada bishop G5. I think this is a Cambridge spring variation. We have the classical knight sini. That's classical variation. Kita ada E3. Apa variation? Kalau saya tak ingat dah. I think ada G3 which is called the apa nama tempat tu? Allah, masa nama lupa lagi. Why do I forgot so many names? Saya tak lupa nama anak dengan nama bini. Apa nama? Ya Allah, it's at the tip of my tongue. My friend used to play it. Okay, dia ada G3, dia ada knight sini, dia ada bishop sini. Okay, dia ada sini, ada few other move lah. Okay, the one that we want to talk about is the exchange variation. Okay, which is, nama per exchange, we exchange something, which is the pawn. Exchange the pawn here, we exchange the pawn here. To get into a structure, to get into a clear pawn structure. Boleh faham so far? Okay, dan bila kita dah exchange pawn ni, okay, tujuan kita exchange adalah to get into this kind of structure. Look at the pawn structure. Okay, nanti kau cakap explain guna bot lain, okay? And then, the idea is still to put pressure on this fella, kita main bishop G5. Because this is the protector of this fella, kita attack the protector. Now, bishop G5 again comes with a threat. Apa threat dia? Let's say black main, sini. What's the threat? You can't take here. Queen makan. Okay, queen makan. Or makan bishop. The threat is simply take the knight. If you take with the queen, you're going to lose the pawn. If you don't want to lose the pawn, you have to destroy pawn structure. Very, very ugly pawn structure. Macam gigi orang tua. Okay, that's the threat. Okay, now black has a few ways to defend against the threat. One is the basic bishop e7, which we will look at later. Another one C6. The third one is a slightly creative knight BD7. Knight BD7, then dia kata, oh no, my pawn, knight aku kena pin, alamak, aku tak perasan. But you cannot take the knight though. You cannot take the pawn though. Because black will just take the knight and then say, oh no, my queen, call an ambulance, but not for me because there's a check here and then you have to block with the queen. Okay, block with the queen, I'm going to take it with check, capture, and then suddenly out of nowhere, I have one extra piece. What happened? Okay, knight takes d5 happened. This is the knight that I want. The free knight that I want is knight takes d5. So knight bd7 comes, it is a threat. It is a threat. So usually white respond by e3. And they come in bishop e7. And then we're gonna go through the same variation again. Kan move order bertukar je. Dia akan jadi move yang sama. Boleh faham? Boleh So the most basic move is bishop e7. I'm gonna make this opening proportion. Okay. Bishop e7. Okay, so that if you take, I'm going to take with the bishop, the queen still maintain contact on the d5 square. Okay, so here we must finish our development. These pieces are sleeping. It's time for us to bring the pieces back in. We're going to play e3 first. We are delaying this knight's development. Kita nampak kita just delay sikit, lambat sikit. Okay, I'm going to explain why. Okay, now here, ingat tak tadi masa kita main e6, apa downside dia? Apa keburukan dia? Siapa ingat? Bishop, yep, exactly. Bishop tak boleh keluar. Tapi bila kita masuk exchange variation, knight t6, knight 6, makan. It seems like bishop ni boleh keluar. Kan? Sama macam, kenapa kita bagi bishop ni keluar? It's a tricky mindset, okay? We are tricking black's mindset. Kalau ada beginner yang baru belajar main chess, baru belajar good black bishop, baru belajar development, dia akan keluarkan bishop ni kat sini. But this is a mistake. You cannot play bishop e5. Bishop e5, this is a mistake. Because when the bishop left c8, the bishop no longer defend this square. Okay, so kita makan knight ni, forcing the feather to take back, and then kita main queen b3, and suddenly we are winning a pawn. You cannot save both. We play here. My suggestion is to simply take with the queen check. Okay, because if we go here, we don't want him to go like here and then dia ada pin, dia ada bishop kat sini, dia ada macam some sort of activity. I would prefer just take with the queen. Exchange queens. Okay, dah menang pawn kan? Exchange dah piece kan? And then suddenly we are up one pawn. Therefore, bishop f4 tak boleh dimainkan. The fellow will have to prepare first. Okay, dia prepare dengan main C6. Again, now C6 comes with the threat. The threat is to simply develop the bishop. The point is that let's say kita main okay, then bishop f5, then we take. This is not a fork anymore because the C6 pawn kind of defend d5. So he can simply defend it by playing, say, queen sini ke, queen sini ke, defending this fella, ataupun queen sini ke, defending this fella. Boleh? Boleh faham? So c6 is black is threatening to put the bishop here. We must stop the bishop from coming here. How do we do that? Bishop d4, tak ada bishop d3 you mean? D4 tu kat sini. Okay, bishop d3 is a good move. Okay, one of the move yang diterima adalah bishop d3 ataupun queen c2. Dua move ni saja, okay? So bishop d3, katakan bishop d3. Okay, black, knight bd7. Knight bd7 ada reason to fight for this bishop. Okay, I'm going to explain before we end the class, okay? And then kita main queen c2 to put our queen on this deck. Look at this pawn and then black castle. Now kita sampai dekat position ni, okay? Now I'm going to talk about, tadi kau cakap tengok structure kan? I'm going to talk about the pawns, okay? And I will need a new tab for that. I'm going to put board editor. Okay, now cuba hafal pawn structure. Dah hafal eh? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 dah hafal? Okay, dah hafal. Okay, so I'm gonna put the pawns here. All the pawns here. Okay, I'm gonna put mula-mula dia macam ni kan. Dia dekat sini, kat sini dia tak ada kan. Lepas tu naik kat sini, bishop kat sini, queen kat sini kan. Bishop dekat sini kan. Naik kat sini, kat sini betul. Sini tak ada. Bishop here ni castle kan. Naik sini betul. This is the position kan. Betul tak? Betul eh? Sama eh? Sama eh? So I'm gonna remove the pieces. Left with the pawns, okay? Kita ada pawn structure macam ni. Now, this pawn structure is called the Carlsberg structure. Okay, this pawn structure is called the Carlsberg structure. Okay, why ada two active plans? Two basic active plans yang dia boleh buat. Okay, now bila kita active plans, dia mesti involve pawn breaks. Kita mesti ajak tukar pawn untuk either open lines for pieces or to create a weakness for us to attack. Okay, pawn break. Okay, now pawn break mean kita tukar pawn ada dua tempat, satu dekat sini, satu lagi dekat sini. Okay, kita attack pawn yang dah pawn hitam yang dah gerak ke depan ni. Kita aim for those pawn first. Kita tak nak aim kat sini because it's too far, terlalu jauh. 1, 2, 3 move. Okay, ni satu move, ini dua move. Okay, 1, 2. We aim for the nearer to our camp. Boleh faham? Okay, kenapa nak buat pawn break tu? Nombor 1, if we go for this one, we are actually gaining the center control. Not only that, we are aiming to push e5, chase the knight away, and attack this fella. Boleh faham? Boleh faham eh? Dengar tak? Okay, nama dia adalah central expansion. Atau central break. Sama, central break. Okay? Now, another idea, another famous one is to actually push your pawn up to b5. It's something like this or like this. Okay? This is called a minority attack. Okay? Why does it name like that? Because we have the minority against the majority. 2 against 3. Ataupun 3, kalau kita kira ni 3 against 4. Sama. Queen side pawn kan? Kita ada sikit. Now, what's the reason to do minority attack? Okay, kalau dia makan, dan kita exchange pawn, kita ada weakness untuk serang ni, kita pun ada kat sini untuk serang ni. Terserang yang weakness, okay? Nah, kalau dia tak makan, kita makan. Nah, assuming kalau dia makan dengan pawn, dan kita ada weakness ni, kita serang ni. Mungkin letak rook kat sini, rook kat sini, rook kat sini, rook kat sini, queen kat sini, queen kat sini, queen kat sini, bishop kat sini, bishop kat sini, knight kat sini, knight kat sini, king kat sini. Semua serang c6. Boleh faham eh? C6 is the weakness. Okay? Another weakness is the c5 square. You can put a knight here if you want. You can put a rook here if you want. You can put a bishop here if you want. You can put a queen here if you want. Boleh faham? Okay, kalau kita makan dan dia makan balik dengan piece, dia makan dengan knight, then this is a weak square. Imagine a rook here, or bishop here, or queen here. Then this fella kena attack gila-gila macam. Boleh faham? That's the reason why kita buat minority attack. Of course, kalau kita makan-makan, open file for rook. So minority attack dan pawn break ni ada dua reason. Satu is to create weakness tadi kat c6. Nombor 2 adalah to open lines for us to attack. You get me so far? Faham? Aris faham? Okay. Arianna faham? Okay. So kita ada plan tu. Okay, another plan is the central expansion coach cakap tadi. Now dah faham plan tu eh. Now, if we have a knight here, kita tak develop knight ni tadi, okay? Kita tak develop, kita kena decide mana nak pergi, sini ke sini, okay? Now, if you want to play for the central expansion, it doesn't make any sense if you put a knight here, kan? Because you're blocking the pawn from coming forward. The knight has to go here. Number one, to to free up the pawn, jangan block the f pawn, so the f pawn can go here and here. Number two, when the knight is on e2, it defend the d4 square, the weak spot in the link. Imagine if the black queen datang kat sini, then you can attack king out kat sini tau, kalau kat sini. So the knight is used to defend d4. Boleh faham? Okay, patah balik. Now, if you want to play for the for the minority attack, okay, if you want to play for the minority attack, the knight has to go here. The knight cannot sit here. Why is that? Okay, why is that? Thank you for asking. Now, if you trade the pawn, this is the point you want to attack, kan? You probably want your rook to be here. You probably want your queen to be here. You probably want your rook to be here. Something like this. Or something like this. Kan? But the knight would be super awesome if it can land on this square because dia sama-sama attack. Betul tak? So kalau kita reverse balik, knight ni kalau nak sampai sini, kena sampai sini. Nak sampai sini, dia sampai sini. So that's why dia kena develop dekat F3. If you want to play the minority attack, you have to play knight F3 sebab bila sampai minority attack, knight E5 kind of helps with the minority attack pressure. Faham? You fellas got it? This is macam very halus lah, halus. I would say halus lah. Something yang you have to pay like hundreds of dollars, USD to tanya Grandmaster. I did all the paying. I paid Grandmaster to ask them to teach me about this. And then I'll teach you that. Tak apalah, just as long as you become strong. Okay, boleh? Boleh faham? Aduh, sikit belakang. Because of that, kat sini white kena make a decision. Should you play knight at e2 and go for the central expansion, or kita main knight f3 to go for knight f3 to go to e5 and minority attack. Okay? Now, kita go for the minority attack. It's the easiest one and less risky. Imagine, bayangkan, ingat aku cakap kalau main ni, kalau main f24, the queen can come here tau, daripada sini can come here and easily attack this line. Kat sini. So it's more riskier. Lagi banyak risk berbanding dengan minority attack. Okay? So how do you play minority attack? First kita main knight sini dulu. Remember what I said about this knight? Dia nak buat maneuver kan? Ingat tak? So I'm going to show you kat sini, okay? What does black wants to do with the knight? Actually dia nak buat macam ni. It's a long maneuver, so bear with me. Okay, bear with me, okay? So kita ada bishop kat sini, kita ada queen kat sini. This bishop is the bad bishop one, the bishop that black hates. So what he wants to do is actually dia nak pergi, daripada sini dia pergi sini, dia pergi sini, dia pergi sini, dia tolak pawn ni, dia pergi sini, lepas tu dia pergi sini. That's what he wants to do. Okay, that's one thing that he wants to do. Panjang kan? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 move. So many things can happen in 6 move. Jadi that's what he wants to do. Okay, boleh? Knight F3. So, free up the square to E8. To free up the square knight di sini. Okay. So, we want to launch the minority attack. We must castle first. Because remember, before attack, king mesti selamat. Castle. Okay. And then dia main the same macam ni. Okay. Boleh? So, kita kat sini usually orang main rook AB1. Okay, knight here. And we have the option to actually take. Oh, sorry. Kat sini dia main ni dulu. Sorry. I mixed up. Dia tak ada main knight E6 dulu because we can actually take the pawn, take knight, take, and then we win a pawn. Therefore, before the main knight E6, to do the maneuver, dia mesti kena main G6 dulu. Boleh faham? So that is blocks the bishop. And then before knight E6, sini, knight here, and then b5. Minority attack hits. Now kita makan, kita pergi rook sini, kita attack E6. Knight pergi sini, knight pergi sini, knight pergi sini ke? Boleh? we have learned a full set of exchange variation. Salah satu cabang dalam yang tadi banyak yang ni, ada banyak cabang kan. Ni ada cabang lagi. Ni ada cabang lagi. Ni ada 3, 4, 5 cabang lagi. Lepas tu satu exchange variation, awak belajar satu line saja. Satu jalur saja. Ada banyak jalur lagi. So, do you guys understand? Memang besar. Tapi dia guna prinsip yang sama. Dia tetap control center, dia tetap rapid development, dia tetap king safety. Sama je kan? Sama je. Dia tetap guna benda yang sama. Tak ada pun pakai idea lain. Dia tetap yang bishop develop tu pun sama je. Dia tetap, dia nak develop bishop dia. Tapi tak ada tempat. That's why dia buat maneuver merapu tu. Okay? So, we just took 1 hour to talk about opening. Okay? Just enough time. Cukup masa. Okay? This is how I learn my opening. Okay, satu cabang, it take me like 1 hour, 2 hours. If I feel like I'm a noob, hari tu rasa macam bongok sikit, I will take like 2 hours for my coach ke to teach me. Memang kau ni aku dah cakap banyak kali, kenapa kau tak macam tu? Ya Allah, bongoknya kau ni. My coach dulu lah. And I was like, yeah. Okay, sorry, lupa. Okay, I hope you take notes. Okay, sebab exam week, I understand exam week, so you will focus on your education. Then of course awak takkan tengok lagi opening ni sampai dah next class yang kita ada. So awak akan lupa. That's why I need you to write it down. It's okay for you to not remember everything. Nanti habis exam, you will start to play this opening and then you get the feel of it. Boleh? Any questions? Okay, next session, I'm going to show you how does the Grandmaster attack guna minority attack ni and win the game. And then after that, we're going to see the counter to this opening. How do you play as black? How do you play as black? How do you defend against this minority attack? Okay, very good question. Because dalam banyak-banyak opening, to me, opening ni is the easiest way for you to learn the strategy in the middle game. Notice tak? Minority attack ni, middle game actually. Dia bukan opening. Minority attack dengan center break ni is done in the middle game. You are actually learning the middle game sekali. Okay? Dan the second reason is that we actually bukan belajar opening saja, kita belajar this structure. Kita belajar structure ni, which is called the Carlsbad structure. So if you understand the structure, awak main opening lain, ada opening lain yang sampai position ni. Okay, I'm going to prove it to you, okay? Okay, now, kalau kita buka board baru, dan kita proving something. Tentulah, nanti I'm going to delete this anyway. Okay, so this is the pawn structure, okay? Okay, I'm going to switch back to this after I'm done with the opening. There's an opening called the Karokan. Okay, opening called the Karokan. Dalam Karokan, kan ingat tak ada cabang? Karokan kita ada advance, kita ada accept, kita ada classical. So, in the accepted line, macam ni. Okay, now let's stop here. Now look at the pawn structure, okay? Okay, and then I'm going to go here. Okay, I'm going to here and I'm going to flip the board. Okay, and look here. Kan lebih kurang sama tu. Nampak tak? The color reverse saja. Sekarang putih yang ada kat sini, putih buat minority attack. Kat sini hitam yang buat minority attack. Kan? It's the same structure. This is also called the Carlsbad structure. Tapi color reverse saja. Now I'm going to let you in on a little secret. This is why majority of Grandmaster can play any opening they want. Because they actually understood the pawn structure. Diorang kenal. Oh, structure ni nama dia Carlsbad, aku nak buat macam ni. Oh, structure ni nama dia Roy Lopez structure, aku nak kena buat macam ni. Walaupun opening lain. I just show to you how a different set of opening, bukan different set opening, starting different. Yang ni start E4. Yang ni kita start dengan E4. Tadi kita belajar start dengan D4. Different starting. Tapi it will arrive at the same pawn structure. Cuma color reverse saja. So kalau tiba-tiba nampak position ni, black, tak ada alasan, aku tak tahu nak buat apa. Black akan cakap, aku pernah belajar benda ni dengan coach botak tu. Dia kata boleh buat minority attack. So aku nak try buat minority attack. You get me? Boleh Okay. And then another one is, I don't want Arianna to play the Stonewall lagi lah. This is not a new opening for you to change. Disclaimer before we end the class, I'm not asking you to change your opening. There's no such thing as changing opening. Main opening yang awak suka. Sekarang kita tambah opening. The more opening you know, the more unpredictable you are. The more scary you are. People will fear you. Aris, if you study macam coach ajar ni, if you follow betul-betul, you masuk tournament hall, people will fear you. You can feel, people fear you. People avoid you. Tak nak lawan dia. I want to be his friend, but I don't want to play him. Macam celaka saya lawan dia. Dia semua benda dia tahu. Okay, people will fear you. The more opening you know, the more unpredictable you are. Orang tak tahu main apa. Hari ni Aris nak main apa? Nak main E4 ke D4 ke? Nak main F3? Aduh, dia nak main apa ke ni? Tak tahu nak lawan dia nak main apa. Okay? So I'm not changing your opening. You can play your old opening if you want. I'm just adding up to your repertoire. Boleh? And I've explained the move. Each move coach explain. Coach tak cerita jalan D4. Because coach suruh jalan D4, awak jalan D4. Tak ada Semua move coach explain. Daripada from the move number 1, I give you the explanation. I give you the reason. Kenapa D4 dia mainkan? Kenapa D5 dia mainkan? Kenapa C4 dia mainkan? Betul tak? Okay, each move I explain. I did not skip a single move. Betul? Kita ada rakaman. You can look back. You can look back ada rakaman. Any questions? Aduh, sakit belakang. Ada question? Okay. Good question, Thank you for asking. I really like this kind of question. Why did we learn this opening specific? Aku suka soalan macam ni sebab it shows that awak tak terima bulat-bulat. Which is what I like. I don't like a student who accept everything that I say without thinking. Macam burung parrot pula. Dia terima cakap kan. Coach nak orang yang tanya. Kenapa pula coach? Kenapa macam ni? Kenapa macam ni? Challenge me. I'm more than happy. Coach bukan jenis macam, dia ni tanya soalan kau orang ajarnya. Tak. Coach lagi suka awak tanya saya soalan. Okay? So, Aris, no question. Arianna, no question. I hope you take the notes. Okay? Actually, this study, you have access to it. Sebab coach dah bagi awak access to it. Okay, nama dia adalah yang ini. Okay, if you go to learn, and then you go to study, and then you go to study that I contributed to. Ni, study I contribute to. You should be able to find the study that I've did there. Cari dia nama dekat sini. Okay, nama dia adalah apa ni? Aris and Arianna Casbit kan? So. Okay, cari je nama dia. Cari nama ni. Kalau tak ada, I'm going to put it in the link dalam Telegram kita nanti. Okay? Tak ada question Kalau tak ada question, I'm going to end the class now. Okay, I thank you so much for your time. Thank you for your attention. Thank you sebab dengar coach cakap. Thank you for taking notes. Okay, and coach doakan semoga jadi lagi kuat dari coach satu hari nanti. Kalau ada apa-apa soalan, boleh tanya kat Telegram. Okay? Arianna, enjoy your trip back to school. Dan ni hari hantar sekali Enjoy the trip to dekat tu Negeri Sembilan. Oh, Seremban, rindunya Seremban. Okay, I'm going to stop sharing. Thank you so much for your time and have a safe journey. Bye. Delok.